Dear children, today I would like to teach you the fifth lesson in the textbook. This lesson comes under the third competency. You have been learning about everything around us from grade 6 onwards. And also you have learned that everything around us can be categorized as matter and energies. There are a lot of energies around us. As example, light energy, heat energy, sound energy, magnetic and electric energy are some of them. So now from this video we are going to learn about this sound energy. The main objective of this lesson is to develop awareness on development of sound, so that I prepared two videos to cover the whole lesson sound as part 1 and part 2. This is the part 1 of two videos. I would like to give a simple understanding about sound energy by giving you simple definition and try to brief it scientifically, and then discusses the sources of sound, different types of sources of sound, and also try to introduce some simple activities that you can practice at home. And the video clip will be ended by introducing some musical instruments and assessment. For the success, you have to read the textbook pages 62 and 63. No matter whether you can understand or not, just read. Okay, let's begin our lesson. What is this sound? As mentioned earlier, it is a kind of energy. That energy occurred due to the vibrations. These vibrations makes waves, so that we can say sound energy or as sound waves. When these sound waves reaches to our ear, we can sense it as a sound. This is called propagation of sound. And remember, it is another complete lesson. And do not worry, you can learn it when you are in grade 11. Let's try to understand how these vibrations takes place. It is understood that to vibrate there must be particles. That means sound is actually an energy wave of molecules that create a vibration. In Sinhala, vibration we can say as company. So sound can go through or sound can move through solids, liquids and even through the air, but in different speeds. When an object moves, it creates a vibration. So these vibrations move the air particles around it. So these moving particles are constantly bumping into each other. Our ears can pick these as particle vibrations as sound. So remember, the fast moving particles create a high sound, while slow ones are creating low sounds. Sound waves are also called pressure waves because they push the particles they are passing through. So read these points very carefully. Let's learn learn about the sources of sound or the sources which create vibration in the surrounding medium. So we can have two main sources of sound as natural sources and artificial sources of sound. Now let's see the natural sources of sound. The word natural means that happens without any interference of man. There are many natural sources and I would like to discuss some of them. So the first one is the atmospheric disturbances. Example, due to lightning. The natural phenomenon also created sound. So one good example is lightning, thunder and volcanic eruptions, earthquakes and sounds of the ocean waves, etc. And solar noises. The noises occur due to the different radiations emitted from the sun. These radiations are in different velocities and the number of vibrations per second is vary and we can get them as a broad spectrum. That means like a band of different frequencies of sound. So man can use them for different communication purposes. The next important natural source of sound is the sounds produced by non-human organisms. In this small video clip, you will be able to get an idea about how these hummingbirds creates its unique sound by moving wings very fast. And these two videos shows you how hoppers and cicadas generate their characteristic sound by rubbing the bristles on their legs. So by watching it, you can get a clear idea about these natural sounds. What are the artificial or the man-made sounds? Some of them are the sounds created due to the operating of machines and sounds produced in factories, sounds of musical instruments and lot more things. No matter it is a natural or artificial, the sounds are generated due to vibrating membranes or air columns or strings or bars. So these are called the types of sources of sounds. In here you can understand this phenomenon by doing these simple activities. These activities are explained very clearly in these videos. Please watch them and do it. You can do it. These are very simple videos. So by watching, then try to do it by yourself. The next important topic is learning the mechanism of different musical instruments. Here we can categorize the instruments into three as membrane vibrating instruments and instruments of vibrating air columns Instruments that produce a sound by vibrating strings or bars. Here giving some common instruments that vibrate membranes. Try to name these instruments. All these instruments are very common to you and you have already seen them in different occasions. Now let's learn about the instruments which create or generate sound by vibrating air columns. Now by watching this slide, you can get an idea about some examples for vibrating air columns. This slide shows you the instruments which create sound by vibrating strings or bars. It's better to get an idea about them. Just remember one or two common string instruments such as guitar, sitar or violin. Other instruments actually are not familiar to you. But by looking at them very carefully, you can understand all these instruments create sound by vibrating strings. Now, if you are a student of doing Western music as a subject, you will come across with some percussion instruments. Percussion instruments are also kind of musical instruments that makes a rhythm by striking, shaking, scraping, plucking, rubbing the things. Example, rattlers or xylophones. I just include few points about percussion instruments for your knowledge. You read them slowly. Percussion instruments are musical instruments that generally used to establish rhythm. Percussion instruments make a sound when they are struck, shaken, scraped, plucked or rubbed. Some types such as rattlers and xylophones have moving parts built into them that makes a sound. Timpani, classical guitar are some examples. Some percussion instruments can play tunes. These are called tune percussion instruments, including xylophone, vibraphone, tubular bell and timpani. Untuned percussion instruments also there as bass drum, side drum, cymbals, etc. and many more things. Now we came to the end of the video. Try to do this assignment, thereby you can confirm the knowledge. Make a simple PowerPoint presentation or a booklet about animals that produce sounds. You have to mention the way of producing the sound. Second assignment is list some other artificial sounds. So these are very easy assignment. Try to do this. Thank you. I hope you have get some basic idea about sound. Keep watching the second video for the completion of the lesson. And also please put a comment once you watch this video. Your honest comments will help me to uplift my teaching. Thank you.